Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine here with Ted Ings. Today we're going to be talking about a very important topic in our industry, Ted.
We want to welcome Mary Marwig, Vice President of Marketing at Privacy4Cars. Mary, welcome to the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Thanks for having me, Ted and Sarah.
Mary, we have heard so much about Privacy4Cars. For our audience, take us back to the beginning. What is Privacy4Cars?
It's a great question, Ted. So let me tell you about the problem that we solve. So when you get a trade-in or a loaner return or a rental even, you've probably had the experience where you sit in the car, you turn it on, and someone else's text messages, call logs, even payment details pops up. And it's not a good customer experience. So what we do is we give dealers the tools and the processes to properly delete that data off that car so the prior driver has peace of mind and then the next driver has a better experience moving forward.
Mary, that is such an incredible component of what technology and what people experience in vehicles today. Can you share with us some stories about what you mean when you're talking about some of these pieces with data being stored in the vehicle?
Yeah, absolutely. So, the things that make a car convenient, Sarah, are also the things that can pose a security risk when you're not in control of the car. So again, text messages, home addresses, call logs, contacts, payment details. So let me share one of the stories actually my colleague faced. She purchased a pre-owned EV. It was a great car, and she went to go charge it for the very first time. And the former driver's credit card was still attached to that car. So when she charged it, their credit card got charged. And she was freaking out because she wasn't trying to do this. So she had to call up the dealership, say, hey, help me out. There's fraud happening. I'm not trying to do that. I need my credit card in there. And so now this has become a customer issue, not only with the person who drove the car, but the prior driver too. But Sarah, we talked a few days ago and you had a story too that also blew my mind. So would you be willing to share that?
Yes, we were talking a little bit about some of these components happening in rental and fleet vehicles. And I had a friend that had rented a car and, conveniently stored some phone numbers, in the vehicle as they were in the car making phone calls as they were driving around. And she didn't think about it when she got back to the airport, but what she can trace, what happened from there was that this person, whoever had the rental car after her, had some of those contact phone numbers and at least had enough information to know about who she was, her name, and was calling some of these people in that log and saying that she was in trouble and that someone needed to send money. And luckily, her friends and family were able to ascertain that obviously this is a scam. But it's just the reality. We think about, so many different rental cars, so many different service loaners, so many different vehicles, changing hands, across the country, especially with rideshare. So it's a very prevalent, common issue in our industry.
It is. And one that has a solution.
Yes.
Mary, I can just listening to the stories that you're both relating, there are millions of vehicles affected by this. And I mean, that's just here in the United States. Okay. I imagine globally, I can't even begin to think. And all this information, Sarah, is, private to the customer. That's my information. And it easily can get out. So this is top of mind. Mary, I live in New Jersey and I see there's been some legislation passed. Would you mind speaking about that a little bit?
Sure, Ted. So in New Jersey in particular, they have passed a new law where they require dealers to offer to delete personal data when a trade-in or a car meant for resale comes in. And so our customers in New Jersey, they are using the Privacy4Cars app, and it makes complying with this very easy. With the app, you can scan the car, delete the data off it, and then you get a certificate of deletion. So that's not only your compliance record, Ted, but that's what the customer is looking for too. So yes, for dealers in New Jersey, please be aware that there is a law mandating this, but I want to say there's a lot more to data deletion beyond what's required by the law because customers want this.
And that's part of the secret sauce at Privacy4Cars.
True. Yes, exactly. Customers, it's not just a compliance issue. Customers are asking for it and they're willing to pay for it, Ted. So some of our dealer customers do offer it as a complimentary service, oftentimes to bring in trade-ins, for example, or they're marketing on it. But some of our dealers are using it as a way to drive new revenue by charging a reasonable fee.
Mary, you touched on New Jersey specifically and the laws there, but we've got a lot of, and you've Privacy for Cars has a lot of customers around the country that maybe those laws aren't in effect, or maybe they're on the docket to become in effect. So how are dealers using Privacy for Cars in other states across the country?
It's a great question, Sarah. So again, I think this is much bigger than compliance, and our most successful customers think of privacy as a marketing tool and a customer satisfaction benefit. So, for example, we've got Premier Honda in New Orleans, and they have a huge ad on their homepage touting their privacy services because it's a customer benefit. People want it and they're willing to pay for it. So, not just compliance, but also a benefit.
Sarah, this enters into so much: the auctions, the recon process, used vehicles coming to dealership, vehicles coming in every day like we see here for service. It just goes on and on, Sarah.
It does. And there's so many devices that connect to our vehicles and connect our lives, and privacy and retaining your own data. It's becoming an even more critical component, Ted.
And Mary, your company has the tools to be able to tell whether a vehicle has actually been cleaned, okay, or cleansed of that information, and you provide that certificate you mentioned for the customer.
Absolutely. And having the certificate of deletion provides that audit trail of what was done by who and when. So not only does it help you, again, for that New Jersey law that has requirements, but also gives that customer peace of mind. Many of our dealers also put that certificate on their website. So their VDP page, you can see it right there. It's right front and center. And it's a value to your customers and the dealership.
Dealers using Privacy for Cars actually have an advantage of those who don't.
Yes.
And Sarah, I could see that becoming, if you would, the next frontier, okay, privacy, if it's not already here.
Privacy is a human right, Ted, and this is an exciting chapter in automotive for everyone.
Mary, congratulations on all the good work you're doing.
Thank you, Ted. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Barry.
I'm Ted Ings. I'm here with Sarah Van Tyne. We're here with Mary Marwig from Privacy for Cars. We will be right back.